Hi guys, welcome back to another Sims 4 tutorial. It's CVSEYBUILDS here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I play with two separate folders in The Sims 4. So you might be wondering why you need two separate folders in The Sims 4, and to sum it up, I like to play with two different gaming folders because I like to have one game with custom content and one game without custom content. The reason being is when I like to play personally, I do love custom content. I'm super addicted to it, so I do have a separate folder for that. But as you guys know, I run an Instagram where I have Sims 4 builds that are 100% custom content free. So I like to have that separate folder specifically for my builds. And the reason being is it does get a little bit tedious to filter through a lot of custom content if you have a lot of custom items in your game. So for me personally, when there's a lot of clutter in my catalog, builds take me forever when I'm trying to keep them custom content free for you guys. So that's the reason why I like to play with two different folders. And a quick shout out to my fellow simmer, Ramen Sims. They were the ones that DM'd me asking me how to do this, so I hope this would be helpful for you guys as well. So without further ado, we're just going to hop right into the tutorial on how to create two different folders. Additionally, we'll go over at the very end of the video a couple of things you should know before you try to attempt this with your game specifically. That way you can decide whether or not this technique is for you. Anyway, let's hop right into the video. So the very first step is to locate your electronic arts folder. For me, it was here in my documents, and then within it is my Sims 4 gaming folder with my mods in it. So really quickly, I'll just show you when I go into that folder and I click the mods, I do have a list of custom content here. So let's go back into that EA folder. And the next step is to take that Sims 4 folder and drag it somewhere safe. For me, I'm just going to drag it to my desktop because it's easy to find it here. And then really quickly, I'm going to rename it The Sims 4 CC. And that stands for Sims 4 Custom Content. The next step is to relaunch your game. You're probably wondering, how am I going to relaunch my game if there's no game folder inside the EA folder? Well, all you have to do is click your Sims 4 icon or launch your game through Origin. Since I have Origin, I'm going to launch it through there. And as you can see, there's a little split second here where the Sims 4 folder is actually recreated upon relaunching your game for the first time. So my game launched completely normally, and when I go here to this play button, you can see there's no data to load or play. So when I click this button, it's actually going to take me into a brand new game. And since we created a brand new Sims 4 folder, it's pretty much going to launch the game as if you've never played it before. So when I click this play button, as you can see, it's showing prompts as if I'd never played the game before, like I mentioned. So of course, I'm not new to The Sims, so I'm going to skip the tutorial, click the check mark. It's going to take you right into Create a Sim, and then you can create a brand new family for this brand new save file. Of course, since I don't intend to play with this for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to exit this game right here. It cannot save because I don't have a save file, so we're just going to click OK. Okay, so now that we're back on our desktop, all we have to do is take that Sims 4 CC folder wherever you had dragged it. Here it is on my desktop. I'm just going to drag that right back into our electronic arts folder. So congratulations, now you have two different game folders you can play with in The Sims 4. Now here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So in order to play with specific folders in The Sims 4, you're going to want to make sure that the game you intend to play with is named The Sims 4. So as we already went through earlier in the video, the game we had just launched is our game with no custom content. So when I click this folder and go into my mods folder, there's nothing in here. So that's my Sims 4 non-CC folder. And then as we went over earlier as well, the other folder here does have CC in it. So if I intend to play with my custom content game here, all I have to do is rename the folders. So I'm just going to rename the non-CC folder here, The Sims 4 No CC. And of course you could rename this whatever you like. You could even rename it, The Sims 4 No Mods, whatever is going to make it easier for you to differentiate between the two. So go ahead and rename that. And then you're going to rename the folder you want to play with, which is my CC folder here, The Sims 4. So what that does is the Electronic Arts game file recognizes that folder as the official gaming folder, so that's the one it's going to launch. So I'm going to go ahead and relaunch that game and show you what I mean. Okay, So here is my mods folder that I had just launched. As you can see, my mods are all here. And as you can see, I've already played in this game file, so I actually can load games if I want to. These are the games that I was playing with before, and that's pretty much it. So I'll go ahead and exit this. So that pretty much concludes the entire tutorial on how I play with 2 different gaming folders in The Sims 4. So now that we've pretty much covered bases on how to switch between folders whenever you want to play with a specific game file, I'm just going to go through, just a couple of different things to think about before using this kind of technique with your own computer. Okay. So as we already went over, this folder right here was my custom content folder, and then the folder below it is my custom content free folder. Now I can already see, and as you guys can see as well, over here it tells how much space the folder takes up. So in my case, my CC folder takes up 1 GB, and the non-CC folder only takes up about 1 MB just because there's no save data on it yet. So actually this folder right here isn't my real custom content folder. I actually keep that one separately on an external drive and pull it out whenever I play with custom content, which isn't often, which is why it's not here on my physical laptop right now. But the reason being is because that folder is absolutely gargantuan. I think it's like 40 or 50 gigs of custom content, which is quite a lot. I know there's other people or other players out there that play with even more than that. So if you have a gigantic Sims 4 CC folder, that is bound to slow your game down, whether you're playing in your custom content free folder or not. So that being said, a way to kind of counteract this is do what I did, where I just pretty much keep my CC folder on an external drive and drag it back onto my desktop whenever I do play with custom content. Otherwise, yeah, just be wary. Having 2 different game files will take up a lot of space on your computer, so just make sure that your computer or laptop can handle it. Second thing I'd like to note is, while I do have a secondary folder with no custom content, like I said, I use it strictly for builds. I don't do any gameplay. But if you're going to have multiple folders in your game with multiple save files, especially if you do a lot of generational gameplay where the save files get bigger and bigger, just be wary of that as well. It might take a damper on your computer if your computer is not very fast or if you don't have a gaming computer. So yep, just be wary of little things like that. That way you can, enjoy your game to the fullest and you're not slowing it down completely. The second thing I'd like to note is when you relaunch your non-CC folder game for the first time, you might have to click out of all of these introductions to pretty much every pack you've ever owned. Now this is something that's going to happen no matter what whenever you start a brand new Sims 4 game file. If you own a bunch of expansion packs, stuff packs, and game packs, you're going to have to close the window that introduces it for the first time, which is, what usually happens when you download a new game pack. So that's super annoying, but if you can put up with that, then this shouldn't be an issue for you. Anyways, that pretty much concludes our entire tutorial on how to play with 2 different game folders in The Sims 4. I hope this information was useful to you guys, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!